Right, good evening. And, they say that spending too much time on YouTube can really sort of get you negative. But, whenever I think of old Lubs, I mean, she's kind of like that's kind of with Lubna. We've sort of made a bit of a peace at the moment, hopefully. So, we can have some honest discussion on her channel because I like what she's doing. I like the fact that she's trying to get the non-extremist Muslims to actually stand up to their own community. But then, then your YouTube feed keeps having these kind of pop-ups like, could there be a military coup in Britain? Now, I mean, they say you get a bit more right-wing as you get older, but, watching a video about a military coup and then thinking, that would quite a good idea, actually. So Laser is now calling for a military coup. And who could we get to do that? You guessed it, Maharashtra Zindabad. Now, what we do is basically the British military has secret talks with our friends and former allies, well, actually former colony in India, and we trade up these guys. Now, there's, the thing I found out is that there's not as many Maharashtrians knocking around. They're mainly Punjabis, I'm all for the Punjabis, by the way, because the Punjabis will be up to this to sort out these radical Pakistanis. Do you know what I mean? So we train them up in Maharashtra, Gujarat. Although they're a bit. The trouble is they don't eat enough. Don't eat enough meat. Basically just train this up in alliance with the Indian government, and then basically you ship them over. If the terrorists can have dinghies, we can have an aircraft carrier. We obviously have to do this under some kind of secrecy. Can you imagine it? It could be India versus Pakistan in England. Do you know what I mean? So in order to basically restore order, by the way, don't bring any electricians with you. No, you can't do that. You don't. I'm sorry, the worst advert I saw in India was wires that don't catch fire. Yes, they do. But anyway, it's just an idea. Now, of course, you'll think I'm crazy, but, James, it's time for your meds. Anyway, that's the kind of like I think the fighting spirit. I think that any incoming government with a mandate, because basically if Farage got in, he would have a mandate. He would actually have a mandate to sort out the economic mess that is going on in our country, but also to sort out the lawlessness. And the lawlessness is coming from Pakistani grooming gangs. So why the heck do we have a Pakistani as a Home Secretary? That's like asking a German to be Home Secretary during the Second World War. I'm sorry. It's about time we started saying it like it is. I think England is on the verge of an utter meltdown. Although the only problem is that half of the sort of your average Brits are still listening to Radio 2, listening to Radio 1, and listening to this pro-Hamas, pro-everything is okay propaganda. But anyway, just an idea. Maharashtra Zindabad.